Hello everyone, myself Dr. Harisankar Singh. In the last video we have discussed about the magnetic field intensity due to the infinite line current and infinite sheet of current. Now in this video we will discuss about the magnetic field intensity due to the infinitely long coaxial transmission line. So let's start. Look at this figure. Consider an infinitely long transmission line consisting of two concentric cylinders having their axis along the z-axis, where z-axis is out of the phase. You can see with the dot in this figure. This shows outward placement of the coaxial cable. The inner conductor has radius A and it carries current I, while the outer conductor has inner radius B and its thickness T, and it carries a return current that is minus I. You can see with the cross in this figure. This shows that inward direction of the current for the outer conductor has radius B. Now we have to determine the magnetic field H everywhere, assuming that the current is uniformly distributed in both the conductors. Since the current distribution is symmetrical, we apply Ampere's law along the Amperean path for each of the four possible regions. The first region is rho vary from 0 to A, where rho is the radius of Amperean path, and this path is known as L1. And the second region is rho varies between A to B, and this is known as path L2. And the third region is rho varies between B to B plus T, and this will be path L3. And the fourth region is rho greater than B plus T, and this is path L4, where path L1, L2, L3, L4 are Amperean path as shown in the dotted circle in this figure. Now we will apply the Ampere's law to all four paths and calculate the magnetic field intensity. So let us start. Applying Ampere's law to the path L1, that is for the region rho varies from 0 to A. Since the current is uniformly distributed over the cross section, then for this path we will have current density J is equal to 1 by pi A square AZ, and ds will be rho d phi d rho AZ. ds is basically considered in the cylindrical coordinate system, whereas d rho is the length of the coaxial cable in the z direction, where AZ is the unit vector in z direction. Therefore, we can write I enclosed as surface integral z dot ds, and we know the j as 1 by pi a square, so we can write this will be equal to 1 by pi a square integral from phi 0 to 2 pi integral rho from 0 to a rho d phi d rho. As I told you, we are using cylindrical coordinate system as we are finding the coaxial cable. Details we have already discussed earlier in the previous videos. On the simplification of this equation, we will have I enclosed as I rho square divided by A square. Thus, application of Ampere's law over the path L1 gives H phi line integral L1 dl. This will be equal to H phi 2 pi rho, where 2 pi rho is the circumference of the circle for the path L1, and this will be equal to I rho square A square. Therefore, we can have H phi is equal to I rho divided by 2 pi A square. Now for path L2, that is for region rho varies from E to V, similarly we will have H phi line integral over path L2 dl equal to H phi 2 pi rho, and this is equal to current I, because the second Ampere's path enclosed total current of inner conductor that carries current I. Therefore, we will have the H phi as I divided by 2 pi rho. Now for path L3, that is for the region where rho varies from B to B plus T. And for this reason, we will have I enclosed as I plus integral j dot ds, where j is the current density of the outer conductor and it is along minus az, where az is the unit vector in the z direction and minus I shows that in the negative z direction. And it is given by j is equal to minus of I divided by pi in bracket b plus t square minus b square dot az. Therefore, we can write the enclosed current IENC is equal to I minus I divided by pi in bracket b plus t square minus b square. Integral phi varies from 0 to 2 pi and rho varies from v to rho. Rho d phi. Rho d phi is the basically ds. On integrating and putting the values of limits, we will get IENC is equal to I in bracket 1 minus rho square minus b square divided by t square plus 2bt. Therefore, application of Ampere's law over part L3 gives line integral L3 h dot dl will be equal to h phi dot 2 pi rho, and this is equal to I enclosed. So finally, we will have h phi as I divided by 2 pi rho in bracket 1 minus rho square minus b square divided by t square plus 2bt. Now for the path L4, that is rho greater than equal to b plus t. For this path, we will have line integral L4 h dot dl is equal to I minus I, and this will be equal to 0, because for this Amperean path we will have two current one that is carries by inner conductor, that is the plus I, and the outer conductor have the return current, that is the minus I. So total current enclosed by path L4 will provide 0 current enclosed by path L4. So finally we will have h phi is equal to 0. Now we have to plot h phi against rho. The magnitude of h is sketched in this graphical representation, where x-axis having the rho and y-axis having magnetic field intensity, that is h phi. So you can see from the graph where rho varies from 0 to a, that is the region 1, that is the path L1. For this we will have the h phi is equal to I rho divided by 2 pi a square. Here you can see the h phi is directly proportional to the rho. So in this case h phi is linearly increasing. And for the second reason, where rho varies from a to b, and here we have the h phi as equal to I divided by 2 pi rho. Here you can see the h phi is inversely proportional to rho. That means h phi is decreasing as we increasing the rho. And for the third reason, where rho varies from b to b plus t, and for this reason we will have h phi is related to I divided by 2 pi rho in bracket 1 minus rho square minus b square divided by t square plus 2bt, and this is also having the decreasing nature of h phi with the rho. So here we have plot for this reason as h phi is decreasing with rho. And for the fourth reason, that means beyond the b plus t we will have h phi as a 0. So beyond that we have h phi as 0. So in this video we have calculated the magnetic field intensity h phi for the coaxial transmission line. Thank you for watching this video.